All right, what's happening, Tyler? I'm here with my nephew, Tyler. Tyler, thanks for joining. You are my first Zoom participant, so it's the first interview I've done that hasn't been in person. For those of you who don't know my nephew, Tyler, right? I'm his uncle. My wife, Erica, is his aunt, so Tyler's my nephew through marriage. But he's my nephew now at this point. I've been married a few years, known Tyler for, geez, almost going on 10 years now, right, Tyler? So we're family, bro. And not only that, we're friends now. So, um, Tyler, quick intro for Tyler. Tyler is 20 years old now, right, Tyler? There we go.
Yeah.
I'm showing my uncle. I should know this, right? I should know your birthday, May 16th, right? Um, Tyler has been lifting with me, I think, since he was 12. I'll let him tell the story, but he has competed in multiple teen USPA federations and RPS. He holds some ungodly amount of state records because he's competed in like three or four different weight classes and like three, four, five different age groups. He's got a bunch of these, right? We should have brought him all over, Tyler. But Tyler, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us, dude, do you remember how? Let's talk about how you got started in your lifting journey, how you and I met, and how you got started. Take it away.
It was probably because of football. Because when I was in eighth grade, they put us to the freshman level. And when I went into the weight room, I thought it was cool. It wasn't mainstream. And I don't like mainstream stuff, I guess. Knowing because people know the music I like, I don't like the mainstream stuff. And I just thought lifting was cool because it wasn't like what kids my age did. And I fell in love with lifting more than I did with football.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get better at lifting because they put me in like the weaker category. This was when I was like 12, yeah. And I started lifting because Dane lifted. I just thought it looked cool listening to super heavy music. Lifting super heavy weights just appealed to me. And here I am,
Yeah,
20
here you
years
are.
old.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. So it was before, so our memories are a little different, right? Probably because you were 12, you were just a kid. I don't remember when I was 12, but we started lifting a little bit in Grimm's gym. We'll talk about that in a minute. Powerlifting, right? Just got you into lifting. You had always played football, Pop Warner, whatever you did, and you got to high school. That's when you really started taking it a little more serious. And if I'm not mistaken, you were probably one of the stronger, like squat, bench, deadlift kids on your football team as a freshman. I know you were an early bloomer, dude. You were one of the bigger kids on the team as a freshman. You were gigantic.
Yeah, I played DN. That was a lot of fun, but not an offensive line person at all.
Yeah,
Um,
not for everybody.
Defensive end was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
But
remember going to some of your games. You were trucking guys.
yeah, but I fell in love more with lifting because it just appealed to me. Something about it. Probably like just lifting heavy stuff and listening to heavy music goes hand in hand.
Yes, sir. All right, so this is our like beta test for Zoom for the virtual aspect of the call. Tyler, why don't you come on in here and we'll do the interview here together. All right, be a little more comfortable. All right, come on in, bring the phone in here. We'll keep it rolling. There he is showing. That's my basement. Yeah, don't show people my dirty laundry, dude. All right, come on over. Fill that out. All right, there we are. Yeah, have a seat, buddy. Get comfortable. Now we can really begin. So, welcome. Can you fit? Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, come on in here. Come on in. Adjust this angle a little bit like Jerry Ward used to do. For those of you guys watch Jerry Ward's YouTube. Dude, here, have a protein drink. I got us a couple of Bucked Up. We're not affiliated with Bucked Up, but these things are delicious. If you guys haven't had these, it's a protein soda, 100 calories, no sugar, no carbs. They're delicious. So let's crack that open. Start this thing off right. Remember what we used to do on the way to the gym?
Yeah.
Let's get it. We used to do this on Instagram on the stories every time on the way to Grimm's gym. We would have energy drinks. I started them off at the ripe age of what, 12, 13?
Yeah, it was
Had
when
your
we
first
were
monster?
going to Captain Marvel. It was right before we went to Five Guys.
Yep.
It was a white monster.
Technical difficulties here. I got the
Okay.
wife upstairs. This is hilarious. The wife's upstairs texting me. I meant to put my shit on airplane mode, asking if we can pause and let Ollie out. No, we are rolling. We're not pausing. Erica, you got to take Ollie out. Coming at you live with this shit. Jesus. We'll work out the kinks. So, yeah, remember that? Remember the first time we had an energy drink, right? Captain Marvel got you, me, and Jay, right? I think Jay was with us. Right? No, that was Infinity War. But we got you your first energy drink, and now you're hooked.
Infinity War like 5 times.
What's the most energy drinks you ever had in a day? 5?
It was like 16, 17.
How many are we talking?
I don't know.
A lot, right?
It was probably after school when me and my friends in middle school, maybe, because me and my friends we used to walk to a gas station after school and then go to like some playground. So probably then.
Yeah. Now you got an addictive personality. So let's talk about the early days, Grimm's gym. We used to drive to Grimm's gym. We started you off deadlifting, right? Remember how much you used to deadlift?
Yeah, every Sunday and back all wonky, like I don't know. And Craig Elias still hasn't gotten me the shirt. It's been like
Craig Elias, if you see this, that's right. That was for a 315 deadlift, right?
yeah.
I told the kid I would get him. We used to be is the key word, huge Craig Elias fans, right? Get swole and F skinny get huge, right? We used to go to like restaurants and I would ask the waitress, I would be like, excuse me, is this mac and cheese gonna get my nephew huge? And clearly it did. Look at him, he's bigger than me. So Craig Elias used to tag him and he would tag us back. And not to out you, Craig, but um when he deadlifted 315 for the first time, I said, when you deadlift 315 the first time, I'm gonna get you a F skinny get huge shirt. And I ordered it during COVID and Craig never sent it. And then like 6 months went by and he's like, oh yeah, bro, I'm gonna get those out. And then a year went by. I think at one point, like it was like 3 years later, I hit him up and he actually replied, but we never got the shirt. So, Craig Elias can get fooped. But yeah, you remember those days, dude. Remember the first time? Remember when you did the first time you squatted 315? I think it was 315, right? Remember that? Grimm's gym?
No, I don't.
See, dude, the kid don't remember shit. Like I got all the memories, right? You're not helping me along with this podcast here, bro. It's kind of one-sided. You stepped out of the rack. I was spotting you and I was cheesing. I was ear to ear grinning, proud of this kid. He was like 14 years old, maybe 15. Yeah. When you stepped out of the rack, and what'd you do?
I hugged Fred.
You hugged fucking Freddie. Excuse the language. He goes and gives Freddie a hug. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like chopped liver in the back, bringing him to the gym every day. So I was trying to get this thing on the rails, right? So Tyler, he would ask me to come to the gym, and then during COVID, we couldn't go to the gym. We would go to Grimm's gym, right? My buddy Freddie. I'm always forever grateful to Freddie. He kind of pulled me out of a little bit of a dark place. Not to make this podcast about me, where he got me into powerlifting. I had just done bodybuilding. I was dealing with some body dysmorphia shit. I gained like 70 pounds. And he gave me an outlet to like let's train heavy, dude. Use those calories. Let's train heavy. We started pushing squat, bench, and deadlift. And he allowed me to bring my nephew. Freddie didn't even know me that well. He allowed me to bring my little 12-year-old nephew to the gym. Grimm's gym was for everybody, right? Didn't matter if he's 60 years old, 14 years old, male, 13, female. Yeah, doesn't 12, matter. 12. Freddie took him under his wing. And the one thing I've always said about this kid, I've had a lot of training partners. You guys will know this, maybe appreciate this, right? You get a training partner and they come in and they go too hard because they used to bench, 225 in high school. They're like, let's bench 225. And next thing you know, I'm like, hey, man, calm down, because you're going to bench and you're going to get sore. You're going to get the DOMS effect. You're not going to want to train again tomorrow or the next day. You're going to bail on me. And it happens without fail. Every time your training partners bail on you, right? And it's rare to find a training partner that never gives up on you. And this kid, it's been years. And I can honestly say I've given up on you more than you've given up on me, right? He would always be, hey, we go to the gym today. We go to the gym today. We go to the gym today. And there would be times that I didn't feel like going to the Taunton gym. It was a longer drive, right? I would have to pick up Tyler, go to the gym, bring him home, go out of my way to get him and stuff. and I just didn't feel like it. I'd want to go to my commercial gym or go to Top Strength, right? And there's just more equipment. And I would try not to let him down. I'd be like, all right, nope, I'm gonna pick him up. There's times I didn't want to go to the gym, and he would be liable to get me there, right? Like kind of taking that from Greg Plitt, but like he never gave up on me, and you made some incredible gains over the years, right? You almost caught me on squats, still haven't yet. I mean, maybe
Yeah, when I held out that one Fred, that was probably the hardest lift I've ever done. It wasn't even a squat, bench, or dead. It was
oh yeah, the
what?
dumbbell hold.
Yeah, and then he made me hold the tricep extension rope
Yep.
for 5 minutes,
Dude,
and
put
I
this
did it.
kid
And I
through
did
the
it.
he did a front hold. I don't know if it was 5 minutes.
It was
I
like
got the video. It was a long time. We all told him that we did it. Oh man, we were bullies. We told him to keep going, and he would just be like no, no, and we put on some corn. This kid, and like we're just having fun here, right? This kid, he would I would see this kid. It happened to Barbell 88 fail a set, a top single or a top double, like fail it miserably, right? Like it's not even close. And you toss on some corn and the kid comes back and smokes it, right? Like it's like something about the cerebralness of it. Like you find something that you love, like corn to fire you up, that song, that smelling salt's what you like now. And you can go to that place, right? But so Tyler's never given up on me. He's come a long way. Like I said, he's got like 14 state records. He's got a ton of medals for powerlifting. What else, dude? Like, what has the gym taught? I got a shitload of questions. So I put out a question box just 2 hours ago. Tyler, you got a secret fan. I think I'm going to keep it anonymous, so we don't embarrass this person for asking you like 37 questions. So while you're talking in a minute, I'm going to sift through. We'll do some questions. But I'll ask one. Remember remember the unicorn meet?
yeah, like
Remember that one? That was
yeah,
was that the Shogun Showdown, or was it the Claw Clash? I think it was the Claw Clash,
mhm.
right? That was
Yeah, I know.
Skywalker's meet.
Yeah,
I was on the microphone. Um, you want to talk about it? I'll brief the people. So Tyler had a unicorn. What a unicorn meet is in powerlifting. In powerlifting, you have squat, bench, deadlift, right? You have three lifts, then you have three attempts at each lift. So you have nine total attempts, right? And in each attempt, there's three judges, right? And they give you a white light or a red light. Red light means there was something wrong with the lift. White light means it's a good lift. You need to get 2 out of 3 lights to be white for the lift to count. 3 white lights means it was like a perfectly executed lift. There was nothing wrong with the judge's eyes. A unicorn meet is when you get all white lights, right? I've done it at nationals. It was awesome. Tyler bested me. Tyler did it at the Claw Clash, right? I think it was your last meet as a under 18 athlete. I think you were 17,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I
It was
remember.
really a coming out party. He hit PRs on squat, bench, and deadlift. He hit a total PR. You did a fourth attempt squat. You hit all state records, right? You hit a fourth attempt squat. So now instead of having 9 attempts, if you hit a state record on your third attempt, the judges, if you ask the head judge, they'll let you take a fourth attempt and try and up your own record. So not only did he up his own record, he got 3 white lights on that, came out and benched, hit PRs, got 3 white lights on all those lifts. Then he did deadlift. And the best part of the day, and I want to talk to you about like your emotion because your whole family was there, grandma, grandpa, mom, me, his aunt Erica. I think Jay was there, right? Jay drove up, right? The whole family.
Yeah, because I remember I was 17 because he was going to a concert at 18 and over, and I was like,
Be good to go. You were sad, right?
yeah,
Yep. So then on deadlift, you hit all 3 deadlifts. And the coolest part is usually the heaviest deadlift is saved for last, right? Usually the way the flights work, the person closing out the show is usually deadlifting 6, 7, 8, 900 pounds. Who knows, maybe 1,000 if you're at a crazy meet. And there was a guy there, Mike Risty. Dude's a beast. I think he had a 21, 2,200 pound total, whatever it was. It's insane. He deadlifted somewhere in the 800s, right? Maybe more. I forget. And Tyler, he might have hit it. He might have not hit his last attempt. Tyler hit a state record third attempt. So they gave him a fourth. So this young 17-year-old kid got to close out the show. My nephew, I'm on the microphone. The crowd was rocking. The energy was incredible. And he hit a PR deadlift, closing out the show after Mike did like an 900 pound deadlift. What was that like for you, dude? You remember the emotion of the day? Remember the interview where you said, what'd you say to me?
Captain America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what'd you say? Right, it was perfect. I said,
I
Tyler, how do you feel?
can do this all day.
Yeah, he says I could do this all day, and he walked off. Like I'm like, where'd you come up with that shit? Um, but what was that like, dude? Hitting those PRs in that moment?
You don't really think about it in the moment. You think about it after. You're just like, I gotta stand up with this or I die.
Oh yeah, well in the moment, yeah, yeah, in the moment on the lift. What about like that night after the dust settled? We got dinner. Um, You go to bed at night, you lay your head down, you make your Instagram post. What goes through your mind after you hit those PRs?
The journey, the journey. Forget about the PRs, just about the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, along the way, right? All the fails and the
Probably
successes,
the
all that.
fails is more important. Like you learn how to fail. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because you've had meets. We'll talk about it. You've had meets where you failed too, right? We'll talk about that in a second. But I always talk about this with him. So as his uncle,
Like
right?
8 Mile.
What about it? Like,
Like 8 Mile. Rabbit failed so much and at the end destroyed his opponent. He destroyed Falcon.
he did. He did. Look, the videographer got the picture. That was when he said, "I could do this all day," and he just stormed off. It was perfect. Um, yeah, at the end of the movie, right? That's the climax of the pinnacle of the movie, right? The peak. Um, we talk about this a lot, and it's weird as his uncle and training partner friend, right? I try and teach him lessons from the gym, lessons that we can take from the gym. So like because as a young man, right? Sometimes you don't have to earn much, right? In this day and age, things are given you like your cell phone was given to you, your video games, right? You didn't have a job until recently. Um,
My first job when I was 16.
at Top Strength, right?
No, Walgreens.
Walgreens, that's right, and then Top Strength. But you never really had to earn anything, right? You didn't have to like do chores for a concert ticket, or your parents would buy you, like your mom or your grandmother would buy you concert tickets, and like powerlifting and lifting in the gym in general was the first time you ever had to earn anything, right? Remember we talked about this, like the life lessons you can learn from the gym. Like nobody can give you. We'll talk about your 500-pound back squat. That first time you went way off program with Dawson at top, and you hit a 500-pound back squat. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, though, nobody could give you that, right? Like you had to earn that, dude. That took what were you, 19, 18, 19, something like that, 18, 6 years of powerlifting to finally get to that number, right? And that's a massive number, right? Like I remember my first 500 back. So I was 35 years old. You were 18, 17, 18, whatever it was. Um, what's that like, dude? How did that feel? Because like nobody can give it to you, right? Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can give it to you. You had to earn that, dude. It's one of the first real things you ever had to earn in your life, right? That means more, right?
Yeah, about that 500. Yeah, you earned it. Like if you go to a random person on the street and you put 500 pounds on his back, he's gonna crumble. So
You do probably with 300 pounds. They can
yeah,
probably hold it, right? Like a
yeah.
yoke carry or something or a static hold. But once they
But
go to
like
squat, they're going to crumble.
500 on your back, like the quote unquote normal person can't hold that. So yeah, you earned it, and like yeah, and like yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to explain, right?
yeah. You just earned it. It's different from like I don't know.
If somebody buys you something for Christmas,
Yeah,
right? Um, so you have the peaks and valleys of training, right? The gym kind of teaches you something, doesn't
yeah,
it? Right? Are you happy that you started?
yeah,
You're
yes.
still going, right? What about um, and I can't really well, I can talk about this feeling. I've failed, but I'm weird. I set low expectations usually so that I don't often fail them, right? Fail to meet them is something I'm working on. Um, when you have a bad meet, remember the meet you had where your back you hurt your back and it was tough. You couldn't really get through to me how your back was hurting, so it was tough to train through. We just pushed through it, showed up to the show. We signed up for the show. We showed up to the show, and it just didn't go well,
I
right?
remember
You
that.
didn't you
Yeah,
didn't bomb out, but you didn't hit the numbers you wanted to hit, especially on deadlift. And I remember, dude, you kind of like in the moment, and you could talk about it. You were down and out. You were disappointed, right? Maybe because you let people down at top and some of our Grimm's Gym family who were there to see you. And you kind of like after the show when everybody's kind of celebrating, taking pictures and all that stuff, you came out of it quickly. I was proud of you for that. But how are you feeling in that moment when you failed?
disappointed. Training for a while, back problems. I'm fine now.
Yep.
But yeah, a little disappointed. But then you have to remember it's not your last meet, so
Right.
you have to put it like that. Just train to come back harder. and having that last attempt be your opener for that meet.
Right. Hopefully, if that's the way it goes with some newbie gains and being a young man who's in puberty, it's fantastic. Yeah, and that meet was before the unicorn meet. So lo and behold, dude, you came back with a vengeance. Remember what we did? We kind of backed you down, got you a doctor's appointment, we rebuilt, and we took, I think it was a whole year off, dude. That was another reason. Like I cried after this unicorn meet, because of what it meant to me. But like, dude, that was your first meet back in over a year. We did a super long off season. Um, and built you up. Remember, we did like a 5-6 month hypertrophy program, and then we did like I kind of modified what Steve does with Power Trip and had you do like a 5 or 6 month build to that meet, and it all culminated in the really the best meet of your life. You know, you had a good meet at the Shogun Showdown. We can talk about that one. You remember? Remember the Shogun Showdown was a meet. I think we did. I think we waited almost a year. We did the same place up in Maine, and you were on track for another unicorn meet. I think it was deadlifts. Yeah. So you want to tell the story? You did squats and bench. You had all white lights, so you didn't have any fail.
Excitement.
You were on track for the meet. What happened on your? I think it was your first deadlift. I think it was the first deadlift. What happened? Yeah. What happened?
It was really easy, and then I just like threw it down harder than usual.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to. And looking back at it, like after the meet, they did make the right call. They did make the right call. I hold nothing against them. Everyone was awesome. Everyone there, director of the meet, everyone, all the spotters.
That's good. That's admirable.
They made the right call.
That's admirable because a lot of athletes, I don't mean a lot, but sometimes people in the moment would be very disrespectful to the judges, right?
No,
a lot of times the judges are volunteers. I'm going to talk about that with Nick Heim tomorrow.
Yeah, they are.
That's why it's beyond your years, dude, for a 20-year-old kid. What happened? Yeah, Tyler smoked the deadlift, and he kind of did this thing he likes to do, where like he likes to hype the crowd up. He looks at the crowd like that was nothing. Kind of a friend of ours does that. We won't say names, but somebody he looks up to, and he was trying to like emulate that person, which is admirable. Or you imitation is the best form of flattery, right? So he looks at the crowd like all hyped up, like that was nothing, and then he like kind of slammed it down. It was not that bad, but he didn't control it to the ground. And he got red lights. Like he disrespected the federation and the judges, right? And rightfully so. Even though we're friends with the judges and we volunteer, doesn't matter. You don't get special treatment. And then what happened?
Doesn't matter if it's like your best friend. They should still make the right call.
Absolutely, right? We don't want any gifts. You want to earn things, right? You only get in life what you earn. This is like a lesson here. And then the second attempt. So I talked to him about it. I said, all right, dude, shake it off. But like, dude, you can't be cocky like that. You got to control it to the ground. Now, I said, now we're going to go up. I said, you smoke that in powerlifting. You can't go down in weight. So I said, all right, we're not going to waste an attempt. You smoked that. We know you have it. We're going to stick to the game plan. We opened light to get him on the board. He didn't get on the board. But I said, we're not going to do that same weight again and waste an attempt. We went up, not that much. And I don't know what happened that day. Maybe he had jitters because he failed. It was like one of the first times he failed recently or whatever, because he had that previous unicorn beat. And you didn't get it. I forget what it was. I think you couldn't quite lock it out. And I was like, holy shit, I just messed up this kid's meat. Like now you threw it down and then you failed the second attempt. I think you just couldn't quite lock it out. And you were shaking, your legs were pulsing. I think it was just nerves. And I'm like, all right, how do I approach him and talk to him and try and get in his head and say, listen, man, you have this. You have to get this or you bomb out and you don't get an official total. The 2 records he hit on bench and squat won't count because that's what happens. If you don't get a registered lift in all 3 lifts, then if you bomb out, your lifts don't count. So the squat and bench that he hit wouldn't have counted. So we came back and you got the lift. Thank God. And even on that one, this one, if Skywalker sees this, even on that one, you got it. But I think when you were locked out, you were a little soft and like your hand was opening up and it was very close. And you got 2 white lights out of 3, which means one of them was the head judge, I think, which was Skywalker, our friend. And not that you get preferential treatment, but I talked to him. He's like, dude, he's like, that one was close. He was like, gave it to him. You don't want to ever say benefit of the doubt because you're friends or something, but that we're human, right? You're looking at your friend Tyler. It's like you gave it to him, but it was close. So we got lucky there that you got that lift kind of. But and then we haven't done a meet since, I don't think, right? No, we did. We got the 500-pound back squat. We had a meet. Oh, yeah. So there's another lesson learned, right? So, and we'll get to questions here in a minute because we'll have you on again in the future. We did a meet I forget the meet. Oh, it was the Ironville Games. Remember that at top, and that was the first meet of its kind where there was I think 18 or 28 consecutive meets going on around the country on the
Yeah.
same day. It was virtual, and you got to compete against people not just at your meet, but you got to see where you stood against those other 28 meets throughout the country. So if he was 18 to 20 years old, junior, 242 pounds, he got to see where he stacked up against other guys. He did well, but what happened was that 500-pound basketball we talked about. Dawson Wyndham, world class powerlifter. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He was at top for a few months back then, right? He's friends with Steve, him, and also Emerson, right? Redneck Yoda, both like really fucking good powerlifters. And Dawson kind of took Tyler under his wing. I was training Tyler, I was writing his programs and stuff, but I couldn't get to the gym with him that much. I was doing strongman selfishly, and our training windows didn't line up because he was working at top. And he would like kind of go off program, kind of like I do. We all do it. It's a rite of passage. And Dawson was giving him some good stuff, good tips and technique and stuff. He wasn't altering his program too much, but there was one day I opened up my Instagram and there's Tyler hitting a 500-pound back squat. And
Yeah, I
it
remember
was
that.
epic. I'm going to let you talk about it. If you can carry this for about a minute, I'm going to pull it up on Instagram and we'll show it here. I don't want to do some editing, so I'm just going to show it. But dude, you want to talk about RPE 9.99999. On the one hand, I wish I was there. I was so proud of this kid, right? It was an epic moment. He got so many comments from people who I respect and admire. Um, and he was proud, right? But then on the other hand, I'm like, bro, you're 2 weeks out, dude. You just fucked your powerlifting meet. Like, you just blew out your CNS, and we're going to be lucky if we can even hit anything close to this at the meet. So go ahead and talk about it, Tyler. Talk about that whole moment, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up right here on your Instagram.
Yeah, so I when I first attempted it, they racked it. They racked it too early because I was going too slow. Well, yeah, I was going too slow, but I was still going. They racked it too early just to be cautious, and I said, "I have this. Put on a song I really like. Forget a song by Knock Loose." And I got hyped up, and I got it, but it was more of a grind. But I still got it. So
I
yeah,
got it. Meanwhile, here, this is a fun family pod. Erica's asking me if I can take the dog out again. It's like, no, no, Erica, we're filming a podcast. This is my podcast studio. You go take the dog out. Here it is, right here. Let's see. Let's relive the moment, Tyler. Look at that shit. Dude, so that's got the audio. You don't have the one with the did you post the one with the audio without music? Don't look it up. I'll scroll a little bit.
no, it's on my phone.
Is it?
It's not on there.
Pull it up, dude, because it's like the people cheering in the gym. It was just an awesome moment. It's worth talking about. Um, see if you can find it real quick. Not that we want to waste too much time doing this, but I'll pull up some questions while you're doing that. Uh,
Yeah.
there it is. That was just epic. I remember Dawson. Not that I like to I try not to swear too much, but you were in the grind, dude. You were in that moment where you're like 3/4 of the way up or so, and you hear Dawson. You can see him behind you, spotting you, and he goes, "Holy fucking shit, dude!" As you're grinding it out, just an epic moment. I was very happy for you, but also you destroyed your meet because that after that you had not a great meet at all, right? Because I think you were expecting to hit 525 at the meet, but
Probably could
that's all
have.
right. That's a lesson in properly peaking and not going YOLO with your boys. But it was an awesome moment, right? You wouldn't change a thing, would you?
Probably not. No.
Yeah. Do some questions, dude. We'll wrap this up in a minute. All right. Let's see here. John Corky wants to know. This is a good one. How does he squat so well?
Um, Probably the biggest thing is knee plate, like where you put like knees. Honestly,
Yeah.
probably yeah. Get the band, put it around your knees, and it's gonna try to force you in. And you try to pull it out, like pull it out, and that's probably the best thing. I was just always naturally good at it,
Yeah, keep
but
the knees from caving, right? You're
yeah,
talking about putting a band like a hip circle around the knees. I've done this too. I've had you do it. I've had Eric do it. I learned from Steve. If you have a little knee cave, you put the hip circle around, especially in your warm ups, right? And it wants to pull your knees in, and it cues you as you're squatting to keep your knees outwards, right?
yeah,
I've always said, John, it's nothing I taught him, dude. We just brought him in the gym, put a barbell high up on his back, high bar back squat like John Hack, and the kid just goes down and stands up. I couldn't teach it. I couldn't teach it any better. He just has a naturally beautiful squat. His deadlift and bench took a lot more work to get where they are, especially the bench, dude. It was hard to teach him the cues and proper technique. It just took years to get him to a place where you're benching 265, 270 now, I think you've hit, right? But squats always came natural. The kid, we did teach him low bar for a couple meets, and he started going even better. But he's just a really good high bar squat. That's why his legs are bigger than mine. He's got massive quads. Just gifted, kind of like just was born to squat. I think I don't know what your leverage is, but it just comes natural to him. It's funny. He has this ability to. We've always joked around about this. Like, so you got a 500-pound back squat. That's great, right? I've done 500 for two, right? Nothing crazy, but like little stronger on my peak, right? My max is 563. The most I've ever done 315 for is probably 10, right? You get a few reps and you're like, I'm fucking done. I'm cooked. And this kid, I'll put him under a 315 barbell and we'll just be fucking off. I'll be like, all right, dude, let's shoot for like 6 to 8 AMRAP, right? Let's see if you get 8, right? And AMRAP is as many as you can, but let's see what you got. And dude, the kid will just proceed to bury like 16 reps. It's like, holy shit, where do you get that fortitude to just shut it off, dude? But like I always said, he'd be a better bodybuilder than powerlifter because his ability to go to that dark place and just seek out the pain. It's a different kind of pain with reps than it is with a 1 rep max, right?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
You kind of either have on a 1 rep max, you kind of either have it or you don't, right? There's a little fortitude that when you grinded out that 500, you didn't give up and you were able to grind it out. But like in some moments, you either have it or you don't. But with an AMRAP, you can choose to give up early, and
Mhm.
you never do. Thanks, John. Great question. Omri wanted to let you know he's proud of you. Says
Thank
proud of
you.
this kid. Um, Here's a question, right? And this comes from your secret admirer, right? So we won't say names because like they asked a million questions, but
Mhm.
I'll seek through a few, and we'll do rapid fire around here. And we'll call it an interview. If you could pick, what do you want to be remembered for? It's a little early to ask that kind of question. He's 20.
Wow. What would I like to be remembered for? Probably nothing bad.
Nothing bad.
Nothing bad.
All right.
Nothing bad. I don't
All right. What are you most proud of, inside or outside of sports? Is it your pop figure collection?
know. That's a cool one.
Your tattoos?
That's a shout out Jay and Dana. Um, wow. Pop figures, music, movies. Really, I know I could probably be a movie critic. I probably could. Probably could
Yeah.
go to the movies once a week. Yeah. Um,
So being going to the movies makes you proud.
I don't know.
Come
I
on,
don't
bro.
know.
All
Probably
right.
they're like, what does this person do?
You're failing at the rapid fire questions. Let's
Yeah.
have it. Dude, with the gym, have you noticed changes in like confidence, communication, or your self belief?
Confidence, yeah, really.
Right? Be a little more confident in yourself. I know for a
Yeah.
little while there, he was a typical young man who's like
Noodle arms. Noodle
thinks he
arms.
thinks he's a tough guy because he goes to the gym. And I'm like, Tyler, dude, you can squat 500, but you can't fight your way to whip a bag. Like just because you can lift heavy doesn't mean you're a tough guy when it comes to fighting. It means you have mental fortitude. It doesn't make you tough. So keep that in check. All right. It doesn't make you find somebody with cauliflower ear, dude, you're gonna get murked. Um, let's see what else. There's a million questions here. What's something that people wouldn't know about you by looking at you?
I was a high honor student in history. High
Interesting.
honors,
Okay.
history through music, regular history, and history through film. High honors.
That's great. Especially because like you're not good at math at all and other
No.
other things. Oh my God, we can talk about another thing real quick too, like growing up with you. Who do you admire most, whether it be for strength or morality? Do you know what morality means?
Mm-hmm.
Like morality is like Captain America is like a moral beacon, always does the right thing for the right reason. That's integrity. And you
Both
can't.
my uncles.
I was gonna say you can't say me or Jay, but all right, who else?
Okay.
Papa.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, how about one person in the fitness world that you follow on Instagram or you've met at the gym? You know, could be like somebody from Grimm's Gym, somebody from Top.
Like strength or personality was.
All right, let's go one strength and one personality. Shout out your friends from the gym. Like I know you might say like somebody like Delts because of his
I was
mental
gonna
traits,
say
right?
that. I was
Yeah,
gonna like he's really strong. He's really
dude, he's super strong.
so him for strength. It could be for personality. And personality, wow.
Could be Delts for both, right? Both maybe.
Yeah,
Here I am answering questions for you.
yeah,
I know you too well. I could have just we could just push you aside. I'll do the interview myself.
yeah. I talked to both of them a lot.
Good guys, both good guys.
Um, Steve is a big one. Um, Andre from Barbell 88. I like what he does a lot
Yeah,
with the special needs and giving back, and everyone there as well.
yeah, that's a great dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a big one.
Steve's done a lot for you. The job at Top Strength and
Yeah,
training you a little bit. You know, he took you under his wing after you tried Power Trip with him, and he's been great. Steve's one of the hardest worker in the room. All right, Mike Ramirez wants to know two questions from Mike Ramirez. When are you ditching powerlifting and joining a fun strength sport? And he means strongman, by the way.
probably never. I like overhead. I'm a big fan of the Viking press. It's just fun,
Yeah, let's go. What's up, dude?
but probably won't.
No?
Probably not.
Okay. That's lame. But that's okay. I still love you. Sure, Mike still likes you. Mike wants to know, see if we can make this one quick because we could do a whole podcast out of this. Top three, you got to be quick. Metal bands, go.
Okay, Corn Metallica, As Lay Dying. Even though As Lay Dying very controversial, like music wise, top three.
Solid, very solid, right? Hopefully, Mike likes that. I think Mike was hoping you would say Paleface Swiss.
They're really good, but they're too popular now. I knew about them when there was just Paleface when I was like 15. I
Before
knew
the
about,
Swiss,
yeah, I knew about
really?
them like when they had like 20,000 followers. And like,
Grassroots. That was me with Azalea Dying 20
yeah,
years ago before you were
yeah,
born, and I was a fan.
yeah, they're cool, but too popular. Like they're really good. I
Yeah.
just don't go out of my way to listen
Too
to
mainstream, yo.
them.
That's all
Yeah,
right, though. Mike's kind of a coach who listens to Morgan Wallen. Um, all right, that's it for questions. I think we can call it there. Dude, there's a lot of stuff we can touch on. I'll have you on again someday, dude, and we'll talk more. What's next for Tyler? What are you up to, dude? I know you got to the age where now you have full-time jobs, right? You're working through the career, so you're a little more busy. Sometimes it's a little hard to make time for the gym. We haven't really followed a program. We're just having fun right now. But you looking to maybe get back with Coach Dane and get on a program, maybe hit a powerlifting meet one of these days once you get in a
probably,
rhythm with work?
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
What are some numbers? We don't have to say lifetime goals for numbers, but let's end it with this. Squat, bench, deadlift. What are three numbers that you would like to hit by the time you are, let's say, by your next meet? Yeah, if you have a
Deadlift
perfect meet.
500, squat 550, bench 330.
330. Damn, those are some good numbers. I'd say they're all attainable. 330 is big though. 330 is a big bench, but
315.
I'd say 300. The only thing that sucks is that powerlifting. Grab my powerlifting rack over there. Jay made for us. Grab the whole thing. The only thing that sucks in powerlifting, you guys know this. All right, this is a cool 3D printed rack that my brother, his uncle, made for us. Right, he made one for Tyler too. It's got even got the top logo. Squat, bench, and deads. It's got all the Olympic plates. Right, he's got all these Olympic plates, so we can adjust our PRs. I actually have to adjust my PR. I think this was 655. It's more now, but the thing that sucks about powerlifting, the first time you hit like a six biscuit deadlift, which is 585, with the red Alicos, it's really only like 5 plates. Doesn't look as cool. You know, same thing with the benching. When first time you bench 315, it's not 3 plates. It's like 2 reds and a green. You know, so it just doesn't look quite as cool. But that's why after the meet we go YOLO mode and we go to the gym and hit a 6 biscuit deadlift, which I look forward to seeing you get one of those. Um, and we'll adjust your numbers on this. This is a pretty cool gift. You should sell these. I know they sell some of these on like Etsy and shit, but pretty cool, pretty thoughtful gift that my brother made. He made me this metal thing here too. Put some lights behind it too. But all right, hey, thanks everybody for watching. Tyler, thanks for coming on. I love the kid. Look forward to like progressing in your journey inside and outside of the gym. Thanks you guys for watching.